cross over hapa kwa watu, they have been fighting by the way, for those of you who have not been seeing, wamekuwa kipigana hapa. What has been the mnaongea ni Cristiano?
Tulikuwa tunaongea sasa local.
Local.
Swila alikuwa anasema we really need back what SuperSport had done to the Kenyan football.
Yes, and Nick Mwendo alikuwa hapa akasema mambo yake PS. Hopefully we still open the platform for him.
Next week we shall have our PS.
So that we'll find out what exactly is going on and what are the plans moving forward. Speaking about local, our team is playing today. Kenya, Bele, we're playing Togo tonight. After our performance, we have some clips of them training as well. However, what do you think about the Kenyan team and our performance? Despite all the drama that is around it, but what do you think about it?
When Francis Manzi was appointed as the national team coach, I alluded to the fact that he's a professional coach, UEFA B license holder, and a former international. I can call him, he was a midfield maestro in the Harambee Stars and Mathare United, for those who remember the Mathare United I'm talking of. He's a disciplinarian, a no-nonsense coach, and you can see the results. He's a coach who is very professional, and I put it rightly that he's a coach who understands the local terrain. Leave alone the foreign coaches we've been having. A coach coming in, takes time to understand the Kenyan football, how we play. This is a coach who understands how Kenyans play right from the grassroots. And you saw even the goal that Egypt got. It's a goal that you could have easily avoided, and this would have left us carrying all the 3 points from Alexandria in Egypt. Now, coming back to Kenya, this is a typical example of last year's performance when we drew against Ethiopia in Bahirda last year, and coming to hammer them 3-0 at Kasarani. And a call was put out there that let us fill the stadium Kasarani. And again, it is the same call the sports lovers in this country are making. Let us fill that stadium. I don't know if
it's going to be 200 bob, 200 500 bob.
200. I think 200 is something we can do for our boys, because tonight because they have shown us that away they can do it. And in Kenya, against Togo, a team that lost against Comoros 1-0 in Lome, Togo, can be beaten here in Kasarani, Nairobi today. So it is a rallying call that let us get behind this team. We need the 3 points, because they will really define our position in that group and eventually qualifying for AFCON in 2021 in Yaounde, Cameroon.
The game will kick off at 7. Tijan, are you confident with the way the boys are playing?
I was impressed of what I saw in Alexandria in a very long time. I think that was one of the most beautiful football we've watched from our boys. Again, also the match against Tanzania at the AFCON. So it was beautiful. But what impressed me more was the bravery. They took the battle to the Pharaohs in their own backyard. That was impressive. And as Shitera said, we have to give credit to its due. The boys did well. We should have left the 3 points. I remember Timbe dancing his way into the opponent's box, and that point-blank shot actually ending in the goalkeeper's hands. So Timbe won't be away tonight, so is Matasi, but Ian Otieno is equal to the task in goal. There is a plethora of talents in that bench that he can summon. So for us to go to Cameroon 2021, definitely we have to make Kasarani a fortress. All the teams that come visiting must fall at Kasarani, beginning with Togo tonight. Then, of course, when we welcome the Pharaohs, we have to conquer them here. Then when the islanders, Comoros, come again, we have to beat them. We'll be talking of 9 points in the bag, plus the 1 point we earned in Egypt, that will be 10. That puts us in a very, very solid position to earn a slot to Cameroon. Be as it may, we still have away journeys in Comoros and, of course, Togo. Togo currently is coached by Claude Loire, the Frenchman. definitely one of the most experienced as far as African football is concerned. I don't think there's a coach who's graced the AFCON more than him, save for this year where he was there as a guest. But having started on a positive note doesn't give us a reason to be sluggish and maybe take this match for granted. Football has proven time and again that you can lose at home and you can be beaten at home. So the preps are going on well. I heard the president saying that the boys are going to put up at Safari Park Hotel the same way as Togo are putting up there. And I hope those ideal conditions should be a motivating factor for them to do very well. My hunch is that Big Vic Wanyama didn't do very well in Egypt. And I've been saying time and again, Wanyama has lost his form. And I hope Francis Manzi will be brave enough. He will be able to summon the courage to tinker with that midfield, to bench him.
Sari's courage.
Yes, as much as he's the team captain, but if form, we say form is temporary, class is permanent. Yeah. We respect him as our captain. He's done very well. But probably in this tie, it's up to Kimanzi to make that call. For
Wanyama, though, is his form tied to the fact that he's also not getting enough playing time over at Tottenham?
Yes, he's not started any match in the EPL, the last time I checked. And you can even remember, it didn't begin even last season. In the run-up to AFCON, he wasn't playing. In AFCON, he didn't do very well. And
he fumbled up his move to Club Brugge.
Yeah, Club Brugge. But again, I don't think really Celtic, Big Vic wanted to go there because I think right now he holds a British passport, unless I'm wrong. And one of the reasons why he didn't want to go abroad was to qualify him for that British citizenship, which he now has. But again, the time has come. If I were him, if I were his advisors, it's high time he left Tottenham and went to a club where he can play week in, week out to rebuild his confidence.
So I say, hata kama ende Aston Villa, so long as anapata play.
Of course, why not? He needs to play week in, week out. And I think he still has got more years to roll. But you know, when you're warming the bench, you are not also likely to attract
even on the
more
bench,
suitors.
sometimes you don't get him.
Yeah.
I think it has affected him psychologically, and you see it's rolling back, the effects to the national team, Harambee Stars. But again, Victor Wanyama is a professional player, and I believe what he carries into the national team is totally different from what he has at Tottenham. And I believe as a captain, he's an inspiration in as much as he's not up to the task. I think he's up to the task because he's leading a team. You cannot score, you cannot create so many chances, but you can give guidance because I believe Victor Wanyama largely contributed to that 1-1 draw in Egypt on Saturday. So it's still my belief that Wanyama can give us the best. He still has something that he can give to the national team because he still has some more years of playing, and as it has been rightly been put by Sula, he really needs to look for a team where he can play. Hata kama ni kwa Watford.
Yes, but so long as he's
anacheza. Yeah, unaona wachezaji kama
hata anaonekana.
Akina Audio ni Galo ni wachezaji wako sijui timu gani, but wanacheza, wanaonekana. Akikuja national team ni watu wana perform.
Hata msewetu wa babao kwa Instagram.
Huyu tunaona Olunga.
Yes.
Anapiga
actually his team got promoted. They won the champions of the Japanese second tier league.
Yes.
So that means he's going to play in the top tier. And you see he's been bagging goals in the left, right and center.
It doesn't matter.
I think where he was, what was that team again in Spanish La Liga? Where he spent a season?
It was
Girona. Girona didn't really give him much of a chance. We saw him go into the history books as the first ever African player to don Girona colors and score a hat-trick. And I think Olunga has proven time and again. One season at Goma here, the league title, most valuable player. One season in Sweden with IF Djurgården, again, the most valuable player, scoring 8 consecutive games. He made his own history there. He went to Chinese, it didn't work out for him. He's gone to Japan. We've seen all he's been able to do. So probably this is a wake-up call for Olunga's advisors and agents. He's now the prime of his football. This is the time to ship him back to Europe so that he can make a name there.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. Imagine Peter Drury akitaja Olunga. Woo! It's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And speaking about also the team, maybe before we move on to the next thing, what about Kimanzi's setup, the way he's starting 11 and the way he's picking the team? Is it something that is he's forward thinking, as opposed to, remember the last time when Minye picked his team for AFCON, there was a lot of backlash. Yes.
I think it's something that you can all see that Kimanzi is a coach with a rich history and a rich knowledge of the Kenyan players. Because from the back, of course, Joseph Okumu earning his call from his performance at AFCON in Egypt last year. This year. 2019.
June, July.
Yeah. It's a clear indication that this is a player who fought for his position currently. And I think these are the things that Coach Kimanzi has been following so closely. And you can see all the players that are involved in the national team are players that we can touch and say they are players who have value. Look at the likes of Marcelo, Eric Ouma, Joash Onyango,
Baleno Wall. They got him your last man.
Ian Otieno, as he named him. You see, we have a team that we can say that we have a first 11 and we have a very rich bench that we can call on anytime that we are in a position to do so. And you see the players who were called on after the injury of Ayub Masika Timbe and Patrick Matasi. They lived up to the occasion, because at halftime we are trailing 1-0 and they came up and equalized. This is a team that can score anytime, any day, from the bench, from the starting 11. So it's a brilliant call by the national team coach, Francis Kimanzi. Keep up the spirit. I've known Kimanzi as a player, I've known Kimanzi as a coach. I have full confidence in him.
Mm-hmm. You share the same full confidence? Or do you have your reservations?
It's one match down
against Egypt.
Against Egypt.
Away.
Yeah, so let's give him time and see how it pans out.
All right. Have we ever registered such a result from Egypt, even from the club level? We have never.
Not yet. I think one of the brilliant results we've had is, of course, the Thursday outcome. Remember in Calabar, Nigeria, Kahata's delicious free kick. Remember John Baraza's goal away in 2-3 in Cape Verde, the goal that gave us a healthy chance of going to 2-4. Remember we beat Cape Verde 1-0 away. Then when they came here, Denis Oliech screamer. So those have been the most, I can say, iconic results for the national football team.
But in Egypt,
Kimanzi just need to build on this.
It's the first of its kind.
All right, apart from... Anyway, I wanted to Achiabu. All right. Let's take a look at, there were some interesting comments that were made on goal.com that I want us to take a look at. It's regards the Premier, the KPL, made by Hassan Oktay. And I just want to look at some of the quotes, then see, maybe we can discuss some of them. Like, there's that one there where he says, when I was leaving the club, they already sold to Isenga for a lot of money and also received huge money from CAF for reaching the group stage. But every day they are complaining, we don't have money. Where does the money go? All the time they're crying, we don't have money, we don't have money. It's a very bad habit. That's one. And there's another one here. I tried very hard to bring Turkish Airlines to help build them a training ground, but it never worked out because government officials were not receiving anything from the deal. And of course, government are free to reply in terms of their right to reply. But for this to happen, and we've been talking about here structures, across, not just Gor Mahia, across board, in terms of helping the Kenya Premier League move forward. And then to hear such comments, slighted or not, aggrieved or not, the confidence to speak points to some problem somewhere.
I think Oktay is very clear on what he's communicating, and it is the disease that has been eating our Kenyan football, because mimi nikionyesha interest zangu za kusimama kama FKF president, I have my own interest. Niko na timu yangu, nataka nikiingia kama FKF president ni make sure timu yangu imeingia. And those are some of the things that have been haunting our Kenyan football. Teams performing very well. Super Sport here walikuwa wameweka mpira ya Kenya juu, uwanja ilikuwa imejaa, but you all know the reasons as to why waliondoka mid season. They tried so hard, but it was difficult for them because there was an institution governing football, and it was going against the budgets that you had put. So inakuweka in a very awkward position. So the only option you have is to leave football to the owners. Now, these are the owners who want now to wreck our football. Umekuwa ukiona mambo ikirushwa kwa mitandao, PS Kaberi akitoa reasons as to why we are not giving out money to individuals or to certain pockets, because we have not received an account of the previous cash we gave you. You see, those are very valid and concrete reasons as to why PS anasema nipatieni invoice ya hoteli ni eke pesa direct. You see, when such mistrusts zikianza kuingia into a beautiful game like football, we get hurt as football lovers. And the only call we make is that football administrators, please understand that we love football and we really need to invest in football. Na msituharibie mpira. Oktay he bears the brunt because he's the coach who carried Gor Mahia last season to the CAF Confederation quarterfinals. And you remember what happened to Gor Mahia. A layover of over 14 hours at an airport somewhere in an Arab country before they touched down at
Casablanca, and eventually
Morocco. 9 hours to the match. They lost to Berkane, a team that I really knew that they will beat. Ama?
Yeah, actually,
because you cannot go past Zamalek, Petro Atletico, then uende upigwe na inaitwa hata jina sioni hata kwa map nowadays. Berkane. So these are the things. These are the things that we talk about. We feel that pain. You see, when Gor Mahia plays at a continental level, I'll support Gor Mahia because it's a Kenyan team. I'm happy Gor Mahia.
But locally?
No, locally I'll die with my team. Hata kama inaenda relegation tutashuka tu na turudi.
Gani hiyo?
Chingwe.
Maybe to borrow the cue from Shitera, I was actually in that ill-fated trip to Berkane, Morocco. Yeah, I remember the initial plan was to travel Kogalo all the way to Berkane, but I could tell you the haphazard arrangements there. I said, okay, let it be. Tutakutana uwanjani Berkane.
Na ulifika mbele yao?
Yes, actually they arrived in the wee hours of the night. That was 4 a.m. at the hotel. That's the first contingent. Remember, they traveled in 2 batches. So the first contingent were actually 8 players, most of them reserve. The bulk of the first team were left stranded in via Congo and Doha and all that mess, landing in Casablanca, taking the road journey equivalent from Mombasa to Naivasha to honor that match, arriving at the stadium in Berkane 40 minutes to kick off, right? Now, coming to what Hassan Oktay said, and this is the very thing we were discussing on Saturday on Ramogi during Kogalo Time Show with Lydia, and we discussed this. And finally, I can't mention who, but one of the officials has come out and say in confidence this is true. And now it's a big shame because why? Hassan Oktay came here as a coach. His duty was purely tactical. But in his wisdom, in his heart of hearts, he decided to go out, get a potential partner in Turkish Airlines, roped him the Turkish embassy. They were ready to build a project for sustainability, for our Kenyan game, for our club, for our benefit. Yet the men and the women whom we've entrusted the responsibility to lead Kenya's most decorated club did not share the same viewpoint. That's a big, big shame, Raburo. If this was a country where integrity and accountability is respected and has sway, those men and the women couldn't be leading such a club. And again, I'll tell you, as a matter of fact, several corporates have come willing to partner with Gor Mahia. But at the end of the day, it goes up in smoke. Why? There are individuals who want to get cuts out of this deal. And that's a fact. Gor Mahia today is poor and is begging left, right, and center, not because they do not have the capability, but because they do not want to bring about sustainability and lay down the foundation there is a lot that can happen. Kogalo shouldn't be asking for sponsorship here and there, Raburu, 2 million moja. No, corporate should be falling over themselves to partner with that club. So it's a big, big shame. And up to now, there is no club official who has come out to maybe contradict that statement. Yeah. So it leaves a lot to be decided.
All right, well, we want to end there for today. Nini narudi, right, Tijan needs to leave. So we'll just end it up with to say asante sana, but I need to give those 2 people wenye walishinda, yani kumbe watu wana, sijui kama ni Google ama walinisikia. Watu wamejaa hapa.
So inashinda utachagua nani?
Sijui sasa nitachagua nani, but I'll try
to do msichana moja.
Yeah, gender balance, right?
Yes. Gender balance.
All right, so let me see. But most of them are men, surely. Msichana mko wapi? I want to give guys to the first people who at least waliweka, because those guys, at least one wa nyuma pale. Let me see. All right, so we have here, let me see. Hey, watu wameshika roro kwa hapa ndani. Okay, let me see.
Tukua tukifanya kila wiki hii maneno.
Sarvikari Omwando, we say the body fat is 7%, which is actually correct. So Sarvikari Omwando, let me follow you so you can DM me your details and we'll pass it on to Philip of Multi-Choice, DSTV. Let me look for a lady. Tuone, wasichana mko wapi? Hakuna msichana?
Hata Sony.
She's watching. She's tuned. She's tuned in.
There ako na body fat ya players wa Arsenal wote.
There's a very creative answer here. And I guess we'll give it to Ian Joroge because he says 7% Ronaldo body fat percentage. Mimi, I really need to explore it. Very creative answer.
Kabisa.
We are explorer.
Kabisa.
So huyu ndo tutampatia. Ian Joroge pia wacha nikufollow. So I followed you. So that's Ian Joroge. Nimekufollow, wacha nikuretweet. Ian Joroge na Sarvikari Omwando. Yes, so DM me your details. I'll pass it over to Philip. And big thank you to Philip Home also of this V and Marcus kwa kukuja. So you guys, you'll win yourself subscription pale compact. Na kama hamuna, mutaniambia alafu mpewe ginene. Mamambos na majambos. Your design. Well, tunarudi next week. Si ligi narudi sasa?
Ligi narudi.
Mungu mbele.
Nafikiri tumbo joto
itarudi sasa.
Lakini pakubwa mno ni watu wa Arsenal.
Watu wa Arsenal who are afraid of heights. Hawataki kukaa pale. Sisi Man U, as I keep saying, we know why we are bad. Tuko tu mbaya. But what is Arsenal's excuse?
Your friend Unai Emery.
Unai?
But he's not Manchester United's coach.
Good evening. All right. Gituku is up next, so don't go too far. The hashtag is still daybreak. He's going to go all the way until 10, and then someone Citizen starts to someone asante sana. Pulisic na Tijan, tumeshukuru tuonane. Successful people look like you and the great Manchester United next season. Jabli, yes man. Brejin.